And so today we've camped just behind a zip wire in a play park. We were up before it was even, well, it was still very dark when we got up this morning, so there were going to be no kids in here. And to be honest, we were here for an hour or so before we backed down and nobody was here then. It seems a pretty much rarely used park. But it's a great little spot for us because it hammered down with rain yesterday afternoon, late afternoon, and we came in and got under the shelter. And as the rain hit the tin roof, Michelle and I decided this is as far as we were going today. We'd already done 25k, so it was a good walk. And we came and we were out of the shelter, weren't we, Michelle?
We were out of the rain.
Out of the rain, in the shelter. Yeah, sorry, it's early. And here's something that we often have to do. We've got a microfiber cloth, and because the outside of the tent, actually the inside more often than not of the liner gets damp from condensation, or if it's rained in the morning and the outside is covered in water, we will use that cloth to get most of the water off the tent before we pack it away. Otherwise it adds a lot of weight. Still, yeah. Morning, sweetheart.
Morning.
What should we do today?
Ooh, let's go for a walk.
And can you trust that you won't blow away in the wind?
There's a swan and a family of 5 cygnets, all getting fresh and clean for the morning. Good morning to you. This is a special video, and it's something that's been bugging me for a few days, and I wanted to make a video. I hope you forgive me. It's a little bit of a rant, but recently someone close to me, close to us, had made a comment which got back to me that Michelle and I were asking for money on YouTube. But it wasn't meant in a sort of kindly manner. It was sort of, you know, oh, they're begging for money. And I'll make this video while walking because it kind of makes sense. I really want to address this. Michelle and I are of a certain age demographic where a lot of our friends and family around us, quite often people you can't choose, are also of the same age and demographics. So they're a bit old-fashioned and they don't really understand, they haven't got the pulse on sort of modern day technology. So they'll sit in their armchairs paying for their Sky Sports or their Netflix, Amazon TV, and they'll watch something on YouTube and make comments. Why are they asking for money? That's ridiculous. How, you know, e-begging they might call it. Now, you've either got a young mind in a young body, or a young mind in an older body, or you've got an older mind in either one as well. And what I find is if that person who made the comment had bothered, and yes, it does get on my nerves, had bothered even to listen to a younger generation, even listen to their children perhaps, they'd understand that youngsters today, they quite often, they don't care for the drip feed of television that's produced to them. They don't get excited and tell everybody down the pub that they can pause the news while they go and make a slice of toast. They're not impressed by it. They watch social creators, people like Michelle and I. They watch people independently, and they may have 100 or 200 people that they follow, and 9 times out of 10 they won't support them, but they're glad to watch them. They produce stuff that they enjoy, not stuff that's force-fed to them through your TV license or whatever. Sorry, I'm just looking at the sheep on the field over there. They look like pigs, don't they, Michelle? They're so dark. So yes, you know, before you make those sort of judgments, at least have the decency maybe to ask your own children what they think about your ideals. Because to me, it seems that you make yourself If you're our age and you have that sort of opinion, you make yourself a bit irrelevant to today's living. And when I say irrelevant, what I mean is, sure, while you sit in your offices or do your job, and at the end of the day you get paid a salary, you'd expect it. And you'd get pretty pissy if indeed you didn't get paid for the work you did. Now, if you are going to judge Michelle and I for saying to our audience, if you want to support us, you can do by making a payment, or if you want to buy us a coffee or something, on paypal.me/thankssteve, and you think that's some sort of e-begging that troubles you so greatly, then you're clearly on the wrong platform. Now, there are people in our age group, and even older and younger. We have a demographic that watch us, probably primarily from 18 to 35-year-olds, but we have an older demographic who do actually support us, and they enjoy what we do, and we thank them. There are also people who have watched us for a long time who don't financially support us, and we thank them too, because as your kids would tell you, they can watch their favourite creators whether or not they pay them anything or not. And maybe you might find that youngsters around you occasionally do buy a coffee for their favourite creator, or do send them a few pounds every month because they enjoy what they're creating. Excuse me, I'm going to have to change hands. It did annoy me, particularly as these are people close to us, and as I say, in reality, look, we have walked all the way from John O'Groats to Land's End, almost over 1,000 miles. And for example, yesterday morning, a guy drove past us in a lane and just asked out of the window, "Oh, what are you doing?" And we explained we're just walking from John O'Groats to Land's End. And he was so excited that he said, "I want to get you a coffee or something to drink." And we said, no, we're fine. And he said, "No, I insist." So he actually drove to the next service station, which wasn't far from where we were, about a mile, and he bought coffee and snacks for Michelle and I and left it behind the counter, and then drove back and told us, "Look, I've left you some stuff behind the service station counter, please pick it up." And that guy, was it Rob? Rob, thank you, Rob. That guy hasn't even watched an episode of Steve's Kitchen. He hasn't even watched the journey. A lot of people have watched us and enjoyed the journey of our walk down, and we're happy to have you along for the journey. But if you're like Rob, or like I would be, to be honest, because I'd be exactly the same as Rob, always have been, and you felt, you know what, I'd like to buy Michelle something, buy Stephen something, buy them a drink, buy them, you know, a little treat, and you haven't done, then I suspect that you're just making excuses for yourself as to why you can't do it. It's very easy. You can even just type it into your phone. paypal.me, paypal.me/thanks Steve, all one word. Even on your phone, your laptop, any device, go straight there. Choose your local currency that you want to pay it in and drop us a thank you. Now, if you don't do that, we don't mind. And that's what these old fuddy-duddies don't understand. And please forgive me if you are of a certain age where you might be considered an old fuddy-duddy, because a lot of you out there actually have very young minds, and you've moved forward with the way the world has gone. You know, we don't, if we want to live in that old-fashioned spirit and, you know, go around on a horse and cart and leave dog mess all over the pavements and make rude and racist remarks in local pubs and things, fine. But most of us have learnt to move on. And those of us with young minds, however old our bodies are, understand that it's a new age. Let me just change hands again. It is a new age. And this generation, my generation, people like me, don't want to have rubbish spoon-fed to them by corporations, and they don't want to pay for Netflix and Amazon TV and the BBC license and Sky Sports or Foxtel. They're happy to actually get their entertainment independently and choose exactly what they want to watch. They're not impressed by the pause button on their TV sets. They've been doing it their whole lives. So if you think that Michelle and I creating the videos that we create is not worthy of some sort of income, fine. It doesn't bother us. Please move along. Or indeed, watch what we produce. We're in a tunnel. Watch what we produce. Enjoy it. That's fine. But if you are watching this and you're one of the people that think it's disrespectful or rude to ask for a small donation from viewers, if they really enjoy what we do, I've no time for you at all. You're old mentally and you're irrelevant completely. And it doesn't matter what you say. If you think that people want to work as we do, and we put a lot of work into this channel. Imagine walking 1,200 miles. You know, there are people that do this for charities, and they get all manner of funding and still take a cut for their expenses out of it. Michelle and I have barely had, now please, no disrespect to the wonderful people that have supported us, but we barely had any payments at all on this walk. It wouldn't cover barely a week's of our expenses, which is fine. We're okay with that. But if you do want to support the channel, it isn't difficult. www, you don't even have to put that in, just paypal.me/thankssteve. Even on your phone, just type it into the search. It'll open up.
You don't need a PayPal account.
You don't need a PayPal account. You can actually pay with any kind of card, local credit, debit, ETC, wherever you are in the world. It isn't complicated. But as your children would tell you, because you've become so irrelevant, you don't have to. And that's the beauty of this sort of social media. You can watch it and you can give nothing at all. Now you might think, oh, but we watch your videos, Steve, and that'll give you some money. If you watch every single video I've created since the beginning of my YouTube channel, possibly on the outset, we might have made 5 to 10 cents if you watch every video out of your views. So no, watching does support us. Commenting, sorry, I've got to change hands again. Commenting and being there for our community does support us. But if you're close to us, maybe family, maybe friends, and you're just watching this series and you think it's rude when we ask for donations, support for the channel, then shame on you. And by the way, paypal.me/thankssteve, it's got 2 S's in it, all one word. Get across and do something decent with your time, because from Michelle and I, we've still got to finish the last 100 miles or so of this epic adventure. It is going to be difficult when we get to the end. We're probably going to have nobody at the end to welcome us to Land's End, and we're probably going to have to walk back again to get to where we want to be. If you're like Rob, or like us for that matter, or like any of the beautiful people and don't feel at all pressured, you lovely people that do support us, to continue and add more funds to us. It's not important. And actually don't even think that anybody has to add funds to us. But if you are the sort of people that think that this is the wrong way to be. This video's for you. Beautiful. Don't watch any more. Don't watch the rest of the adventure. Don't watch the finishing of the down. This is for you. We don't care. We're not begging for money. We're working hard, harder than most of you will ever work in your lives. We're not going into an office 9 to 5 and expecting to be paid for sitting around drinking coffee and doing nothing all day. We're not sitting in a house getting rent for a property. And when we see somebody walking out in the streets, like dear Rob, thank you very much, who will never see this video, he doesn't even know that we've got a YouTube channel. If you're like Rob or like us, thank you very much for your support. Even just watching the videos helps. PayPal.me/thanks Steve. We love you all, don't we, Michelle?
We love you all.
But I had to get that off my chest. I'm really, it's bugged me immensely. And the person who said it, yes, thank you for inspiring me to think just how old-fashioned and how out of date some of our closest people are. Loved you all. Big walk ahead. Oh, and by the way, I've said to you before, see these doggies coming along? Because people can be kind, I have a pocket full of dog snacks, and these little dogs, like many of the ones along this canal over the last few days, are going to get a treat from us.
Hello.
Have you? Let me ask Mum if you're allowed a snackaroon. Hey?
Yeah.
Can I give him a dog snack? I like to ask, I wasn't sure. Do you want a dog snack?
He's only got dog snacks.
Where have you walked from?
John O'Groats.
There you go.
Oh my God, have you?
Yes.
Thank you very much. And I guess you're heading to London.
We are, and we're nearly there.
Oh my, when did you start?
We started
11 weeks ago.
So we did wonder if the Tiverton Canal had any boats on it at all, but there is one. The first canal boat we've seen, Jennifer, and looking very pretty with the reflection in the water. So whether it's a liveaboard, I'm not sure. And whilst I'm having this little rant or discussion, because we do appreciate people that support us, there is another option. You can actually go to patreon.com/Steve Owens, and there's a small number of people that support us on a monthly basis with donations to the channel. Thank you very much. Or just watch the BBC. Okay, I wanted to end it with a video for all my lovely followers that have been following us for a long time. It's not all just a rant. Today, Michelle and I, we woke up in the children's play park. Don't ask, long story. And we are now walking towards Tiverton on this canal, which is virtually a dead canal. It
Doesn't go anywhere.
doesn't really go anywhere, doesn't join up. We've only seen one boat on it so far. We're not a long way. There are some boats, we're told, in Tiverton. We've got about a couple of 100 kilometres left to walk. It is getting hard. It's getting hard to motivate yourselves out of bed in the morning. We got up this morning at 6:45, 6:45. It was still dark outside, and by the time we've had a bit of breakfast, a cup of coffee, the day is rolling on. And by 4 o'clock this afternoon, if we don't get walking, it's getting dark again. So it is hard, but I don't know where we get the motivation for, because quite honestly right now I think both of us would quite happily just give this up. We're not going to, obviously.
It's so close to the end now.
So close to the end, but it is hard walking now. It's hard with the days being so short, and cold and wet generally. Although today is not cold, it's quite nice. It's probably about 13-14 degrees maybe Celsius, and we believe there'll be a little bit of sunshine on and off throughout the day. So this is a video instead of the live streams, which we'll continue to do as we get towards the finish line. And I know most of you who have supported us in the past know this is not meant for them, this video. And even if you haven't got the finances to chuck us, you know, $5 or something for a coffee, or support us in any way that you feel fit, it doesn't matter. But if you do want to, PayPal, paypal.me/thanks Steve, all one word, 2 S's in the middle. And we're going to love you and leave you. We'll be doing a live stream possibly tomorrow or the day after. We might have a day's rest after this actually and do it closer to the end. Have a wonderful day. Love to you all. So back to the Tiverton Canal, and you'll see there are some canal boats. They're sort of short little boats, and I think they're probably for tourists or, you know, little tours around the area. I don't know that from what I've seen it's likely that there's any liverboards like in the Midlands and southern northern canals. There you go.
Hello.
Good day. Good day. So, good day. So yeah, we're hoping when we get into Tiverton, the canal apparently ends, and we're hoping there's somewhere we can sit, because we've been walking for 2 3/4 of an hour, and we need to sit down and a little bit of refueling. But it's a pretty little village or town. So here is the actual end of the canal, the Tiverton Canal. So this is what it's like when we come off the canal. We're back in little towns. This is Tiverton. It's the back streets, and really now it's really difficult to plot a route down to Land's End that won't go on any main roads. And as it stands, I am really Department Thy Goods and Wills. Anyway, so yeah, to try and find a route that will keep us off of the off of the main roads. So this is the route that I planned. I'm moderately hopeful that it will keep us off today. And look at this little town. Oh, this looks old school. Look, could be an episode of Coronation Street.
West Essex Trail. West
X Trail.
John Heathcote.
So maybe this is the trail we're on, Michelle.
It's not a way.
Not a way, it's a trail. I like trails. So if I've inadvertently chosen the West X Trail, I've just realised that the X, EXE, is the name of the river of which Exeter is named after. So maybe we'll be walking alongside part of the River Ex. Hopefully it won't be as bad as the River Severn, but we'll see. And so we're back on the Devon Hills. They say Devonshire is very hilly. My it is, but it might only be just a couple of 100 kilometres left to travel. It might as well be a couple of thousand again. There's going to be hills all the way down. There are obviously downward sections, But I think no sooner are you down, you're going back up again. They say Devon is all about the hills, ups and downs. We haven't seen much flat yet, just that little canal stretch. But it is what it is. We knew before we got here it's going to be like a roller coaster. But it is hard going. And these hills are endless and steep. There is a down, of course, but at the moment you get to the bottom, it's back up again. I kid you not. This hill, it just keeps going and going. Now, I don't think I'm moaning. We've done 8 miles on a canal this morning before most people have got up. But I said it was ups and downs. So far, it's just been up and up. We've been about 45 minutes, Michelle, uphill. Oh. We're off those steep hills onto steep fields. I'm not sure which is better. Being on those hard surfaces or on these hard to navigate surfaces, because here we're back to bog again. See the one I'm on?
Yeah.
Just demonstrating to Michelle what way I'm taking so she can follow me. And it's along the edge. Close to the edge. Here's a little bridge up to that little path.
Up to the lane.
Hopefully it's not like this the whole way.
I'm sure it will be.
Generally is. I'm not sure how much I'm going to be able to film today. The batteries are all getting a bit low. So until we get to our next town we can stop in a hotel in, I'm going to keep it pretty to a limit how much we use the camera. Oh, I'm dry. This is so hard. We've crossed through 3 gates now that have been just piles of manure, and they're impossible almost to get around. 2 k's an hour, maybe best. 1 probably. This is Kay and Dawn. Thank you for your tea and hospitality. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Lovely people.
Right, find out you go.
All right.
All right.
Thanks,
guys.
Take care. Bye bye. Just stop for beg a little bit of water, and Kay and Dawn offered a cup of tea and a Kit Kat. So doesn't get any better than that, does it, Michelle?
Absolutely. And we completely filled up with water, so
Yes.
we're all good.
Heavy with water and ready to rock and roll.
You found a downhill.
Yeah, but look how downhill it is. Oh,
And I see the uphill at the other side.
our road we're going on to, you can see right over on the other side of this hill. And this road, which is unsuitable for motor vehicles of any sort. And they call
Unmetalled road.
unmetalled road. And basically, this unmetalled road is just a bomb site. I don't know if you can see.
Riverbed.
It is another riverbed, but what does it mean, unmetalled road? It's all stones. So an unmetalled road, if any of you know what it is, you can let us know. As far as we can tell, it means that it used to be a riverbed because it's pretty much all rocks and boulders. And
I knew you'd catch me up.
well, I was doing a bit of filming, Michelle.
I know.
It's hard going, isn't it?
But I go ahead of you. And you still overtake me.
I know, so I don't mind these roads. Now, this is with the weight on my back, to be honest, this is hard going. I can feel it in my knees. It's not doing us any good, neither one of us. And it's a long unmetalled road. A long unmetalled road. Oh, and then I hope it's not unmetalled on the way up as well,
I
Michelle.
was thinking that as well.
Got to go up it the other side. Well, this road looks like it's not being used too frequently at the moment. I don't even think a tractor would come down here easily. Well, he would, he'd brush the sides. Here's a road that hasn't been cut back in a little while. And just up and up and up and up. Oh, Devon, what are you doing to us? So definitely Devon is the county, or a county anyway, of ups and downs. We're on a rare bit of flat ground. And if we can, we need to find ourselves, you can see the sun starting to go down. We need to find ourselves a place for tonight. And it'll probably be a farmer's field. I hope to stay out of the way. Farmers around here so far, they've been quite friendly, but I don't think they'd take kindly to us being in their fields without asking maybe. But we don't know who to ask. And you see a field here, you don't know if it's this building or more than one way to skin a cat. What a great gentleman.
Fantastic.
Thank you, mate. That's beautiful. Saved us getting wet.